Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtam Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyananda, I welcome all the viewers and participants for this Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Nijavatara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us all in 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. As we are all nearing to the most auspicious occasion of Paramashivaratri, Kailasa is celebrating all around the world the grand occasion of Mahaparamashivaratri, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to initiate all in Shiva Kundalini Dhyana. Today, we are going to be looking into one of the most significant contributions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the Kailasa Paramparagata Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. Kashi, the eternal city, which the Hindus revere till today, and for which Hindus resonate wherever they are, whatever they are doing. Kashi is something, a sentiment. Kashi is the breath of all the living and practicing Hindus around the world today. So today we will be looking into the contributions of Kailasa Paramparagata Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, the Kashi, which is the eternal city. So let us get into the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how Swamiji has revived this great Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. Yes. So we're going to see the contributions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So before we look deeper into the contributions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, first let us just take a small glimpse about the Kashi, which is the eternal city. It is a historic place where it holds immense importance for all the Hindu sampradayas. As we know, Hinduism is a pantheon of all the religions. 100,000 sampradayas or the traditions are held within this Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Now, Kashi is a historic place which is the mother of all these 100,000 Hindu sampradayas, and it is the eternal city known as Varanasi, and it is described in across all yugas of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So you can see a lot of references of Kashi and the significance of Kashi in almost every Purana that we take. For example, Skanda Purana, where it says that that Shakti is called Prakriti, that Purusha is the great Ishvara. The holy spot is never left by Shiva, and Shiva, who has the form of supreme bliss and who sports around. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. So Kashi, which is described in almost all the yugas, right from Skanda Purana, where it is told that Shiva never left this city. Paramashiva never left this city of Varanasi since all the yugas. And it is also described in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Kurma Purana, Upanishads. Almost every single Purana has described the historic significance of Kashi. Now, let us take a small look at the divine lineage, the Daiva Parampara of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. Starts from Paramashiva himself, then Devi Jagadatri. Now, Devi Jagadatri is the presiding deity of Kailasa's Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, which Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam. And from there, the lineage is passed on to Bhagavan Ganesha. Bhagavan Ganesha, along with all the Ganeshwaras, organized all the sadhus of Akhada as Atal Akhada. And today, Swamiji is the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Atalapeetam. From Lord Ganesha, the lineage goes to Kapila Mahamuni. Kapila Mahamuni, who is the founder of the Sankhya philosophy and who has organized the Mahanirvani Pita with his Vidyeshwaras. Now, Swamiji is the Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Pita. And from there, the whole lineage passes on to Buddha, Adi Shankara, Trinyana Sambandar, Trinavakasar Appar, then Trailinga Swami, Thotapuri, Tautpali Baba, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Sharda Devi, then Paramahamsa Shivananda, Tiruchi Swamigal, Swami Ranganathananda, Hamsanandapuri, And finally, it goes to Atala Acharya Shukadevananda, and now Swamiji is the Guru Mahasanidhanam of this great Daiva Parampara. You can see here very clearly the Devi Jagadatri, who is the presiding temple of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, which Swamiji is the Guru Mahasanidhanam for that. And at the same time, for the Atalapita, which the Lord Ganesha, along with his Ganeshwaras, organized the Atalapita. Swamiji is the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, and the Mahanirvani Pita, which the Kapila Muni has organized along with this Vidyeshwaras. Swamiji is the Mahamandaleshwar. So Paramashiva, the cosmic source and the ultimate divinity, started the most ancient lineage of Adisaiva traditions and sannyasa. The Akadas, which Paramashiva came down to the sacred city of Varanasi in North India, and he empowered the direct disciples, which is Lord Subramanya and Lord Ganesha. About 20,000 years before, Kapila Mahamuni brought down the science of pure thought currents to humanity called as Sankhya. That's what we just looked into. And the Kapila Mahamuni, along with his Vidyeshwaras, organized the Akadas, which today Swamiji is the Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Pita. And from there, the Daiva Parampara traveled up to Shankaracharya, Adi Shankara, who is the incarnation of Paramashiva, who descended in 8th century. He has organized and unified the thought currents that existed within the Sanatana Hindu Dharma in the form of various traditions of Sampradaya, called as Akadas. And he is the organizer and reviver of Darshanani Sampradaya. And he organized a section of the monastics under the umbrella, grouping them under 10 names. That is the Darshanani Sampradaya. And he has also organized the Mahanirvani Pita, and he formally organized it in 7th century. Now, Swamiji, the most celebrated and revered Purna Avatara, the Jnana Chakravarti, Swamiji is the incarnation. And we also have Gautama Buddha in this lineage. And what you're seeing here is the coronation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the sovereign ecclesiastical spiritual throne of Mahanirvani Pita. That's what we saw. And here in 2007, Swamiji is on the royal procession, seated on the royal chariot of Mahanirvani Akhada. Yes. So you can see here how Swamiji is facilitating the Mahanirvani Akhada premises on Kumbhaghat. And this is the official coronation of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the ecclesiastical spiritual throne of Mahanirvani Pita as the successful Acharya Mahamandaleshwar. So the Parampara, which Paramashiva resides in the Kashi since time immemorial till today, Swamiji is the Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, is the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Atalapita, and he is the Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, where the Guru Jagadatri Devi, she houses the as the presiding deity. So you can see here how Swamiji honors the Mahanirvani Akhada's sacred tradition in the through processions. Yes. You can see here Swamiji with Swami Dayanandji Acharya Pita of Bhagavindamat. Now, let us take a look at the evolution of Hindu religious months. Now we have seen how ancient the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is, and how Swamiji is a direct descendant of Paramashiva himself. Since time immemorial till today, it is held by the incarnations of Paramashiva, first starting from Ganesha and Subramanya, then followed by Kapila Mahamuni, then Shankaracharya. In the same lineage, Swamiji is holding this entire Kashi Sarvajnapeeta for all the living and practicing Hindus for the world. And now let's take some of the important contributions of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. Now, firstly, it is the seat of religious education. During the Sutra and epic periods, which is the Vedic period, Varanasi and Mithila developed as an important centers for learning and philosophy. Varanasi became the famous center for Vedic civilization during the Upanishad period, and Ajit Shatru was a patron of learning and literature. Taxila was the most famous seat of learning, which attracted scholars from different parts of India, and in fact, it also provided opportunity for scholars from different parts of the world to be part of this entire civilization. The education system in Hindu society has primarily been driven by temples and Gurukul. Gurukul was the residential schooling system popular in India, and at the Gurukul, all were considered as equal. The Guru and the Sishya lived in the same house next to or with each other. The relationship was considered so sacred. This entire Gurukul system was also revived in Kashi Sarvajnapeeta over centuries and yugas. Now, this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, which housed as the knowledge center, spiritual knowledge center for entire Hinduism, was under attack. For more than 1,300 years, the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is under the attack of the anti-Hindus. We will be now looking into a small segment about how this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta was under attack and how Swamiji is reviving this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So when Swamiji assumed the responsibility of being the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta back in 2007, right from assuming the responsibility as the Mahamadaleshwar of Mahalebanyakada, Acharya Mahamadaleshwar of Atalapeetam, and now for the Jagadatri deity where the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is housed. For all these years, how after Swamiji has assumed the responsibility, how Swamiji has revived this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So before that, we will actually see the Kashi, how it is under attack for more than 1,300 years. So the old Kashi temple had been destroyed several times by the invaders. The first Muslim invader to attack the Varanasi was Ahmad Nihar, and he is the governor of Indian provinces of the Ghazni temple in 11th century. So you can see here, since 11th century, the entire Kashi Varanasi Vishwanatha temple was under attack. Literally, there are several references saying that the entire temple was filled with gold. The entire Vimana was completely filled with gold, and it is one of the richest temple that the 56 Desas have seen. I mean, this is something which we can also understand because since time immemorial, Kashi Vishwanatha has been protecting and guarding the Hinduism and all the sampradayas for the benefit of humanity. This is one of the most richest province that all the 56 Desas have seen. But now, on 11th century itself, the invaders started attacking the temple. Later, Kutubuddin al-Balkh, the slave of the slave dynasty, invaded the city, and more than 1,000 temples are said to be destroyed overnight. Overnight, the anti-Hindu forces invaders destroyed about 1,000 temples. Literally, they have destroyed 1,000 temples in this whole area of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So the commander of Muhammad Puri in 11th century itself destroyed the original Vishwanatha temple. So what you are seeing here, original Vishwanatha temple was destroyed back in 11th century itself. And after defeating the king Jayachandra and the Raja of Kanauj and capturing the city of Kashi. So the new temple was actually rebuilt 20 years later by a Gujarati merchant in the Hindu rule. So you can also once again one other thing which you can very well see is France. Even though this Kashi was under attack from 11th century till today, the entire kingdom went through revival also with the grace of Paramashiva. Every now and then, the sadhus, the agoris, the Hindu kings, they come together and rebuild the entire temple for several times. So that is also one of the resilience that the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta has shown, because as we know, it is from Paramashiva himself, and that is why it is called as the eternal city. It is there in all yugas, actually. So now, from 13th century, the Alauddin Khilji attacked this town once again, and he destroyed many temples here. And later on, destroyed temples that were built newly, whatever was built by other Indian rulers, everything was also destroyed by the Alauddin Khilji. Then again, the new temple that was built for Kashi Vishwanatha was demolished by Hussain Shah Shaki, and where it was the first uprooted, the Razia Mosque was constructed in this place a few years later. And then Raja Man Singh has got the temple reconstructed during the Mughal Emperor's Akbar's rule at the Gyanvapi. So that is what we all know today. At Gyanvapi, he actually reconstructed the entire Kashi Vishwanatha temple. But the Orthodox Brahmins chose to boycott the temple because his daughter was married to Islamic ruler. Then later, it was the temple went through more and more refurbishments and the changes in the later rule. And the lingam, the main Kashi Vishwanatha lingam, was housed for few centuries until it fell victim for Aurangzeb's intense religious persecution. So, at least for 500 to 600 years, from Akbar's time to Aurangzeb's time, the main Kashi Vishwanatha temple, the main Shivalinga was well protected. But after it reached to the reigns of Aurangzeb, literally the whole temple was once again under the attack. Now, you also we also need to learn about the Akada sadhus, the Aghori Sampradaya. So the Rajput kings, to protect Hinduism, they took Apat Sannyas to protect the Hinduism from the hands of anti-Hindus and the invaders, which is undergoing massive destruction, massive persecution, whether it is in terms of Hindu infrastructure getting destroyed, whether it is in terms of Hindu libraries and Hindu gurukuls getting destroyed, whether it is in terms of the Hindu women getting raped. So looking at the plight of Hinduism, the Rajput kings and Rajput soldiers took the brave, courageous attempt to protect, to save the Sanatana Hindu Dharma as an embodiment of Tyaga, and they took Apat Sannyas. They are the first people to form the entire Aghora Sampradaya in the cognition to protect Hinduism. Swamiji has beautifully shared that sannyasis are Shastradharis and Shastradharis. So these Aghora Sampradaya sadhus, they were Shastradharis and also Shastradharis. They used to manifest extraordinary power manifestation, as we all know. Now, during the reign of Aurangzeb, who attacked the Kashi Vishwanatha temple illegitimately during this Chaturmas. So during Chaturmas, the Aghora Sampradaya, Aghoris do not, they take a vow that they will not touch any weapon. So they will be intensely manifesting powers, they will be intensely connecting to Paramashiva in the prayers. So during this Chaturmas Vrata that they are in, that time Aurangzeb attacks the temple. So because of that, literally 13,000 Aghoris were killed. They did not have any arms with them, any weapons with them. So literally 13,000 Aghoris were killed in the attack. So you can also see here the Dashnami Sampradaya of, as described by Dattatreya, that was now passed on by the Adi Shankara. And literally the Naga sadhus, as we are talking, they have no fear of death. They have their weapons have been with trishul, sword, stick, spear, etc. They additionally possessed other items which actually helped them to become the great Shastradharis. But during Chaturmas time, they did not have any weapons because that is the religious practice that they all go through. Now, the Naga sadhus fought back till the final breath, literally. As per the local old stories and oral portrayals, around 40,000 Naga sadhus relinquish their life overall. So on a single day, 13,000 Naga sadhus were killed. Overall, 40,000 Naga sadhus sacrificed their life to protect the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, as we are speaking, to protect the Kashi Vishwanatha, the one which they are all worshipping, and till today from every single part of the world, all the Hindus worship Kashi Vishwanatha. That's mainly because of the Tyaga that this 40,000 Naga sadhus were able to do. So the warrior saints, the Naga sadhus, took on numerous conflicts against the Islamic invaders, and after that, in British, in this manner, shielding the Hindus and temples. One such story is what we know as the shielding of Gokul from the Afghans, led by Sardar King, in a wise manner, how they shielded the Hindus and temple for centuries. Now, King Aurangzeb, as we are talking, he destroyed several temples, and including the and he was the one who built the Gyanvapi Mosque in its place. And from 16th century to 17th century, the linga had been kept in the Gyanvapi well. So there is this beautiful story which I would like to share with all the participants and viewers today, where when this attack was happening, right, there were 5 Naga sadhus who literally took the Kashi Vishwanatha linga, and they jumped into the Gyanvapi well, and they literally protected the Kashi Vishwanatha with them by being inside the well, at least for few years, till the next Rajput king who came and then rescued them and rebuilt the entire structure again. Till then, literally, this 5 Naga sadhus protected the Kashi Vishwanatha Shivalinga. Then we also have the Lady Ahilyabai Holkar, the young daughter in the law of Maratha Lord, Malhar Rao. She built the present temple structure, whatever we are having as the Kashi Vishwanatha temple, is built by her. And she additionally remolded a lot of other temples that were destroyed by the invaders. Then Baizabai, she's the widow of the Maratha ruler, and she also further extended the Kashi Vishwanatha temple and pursued more development in the later years. Then the Raja of Nepal, he actually built a 7-foot high stone statue of Nandi, and that was also introduced. And then overall, now Kashi has got 1,800 temples belonging to different sampradayas followed in Hinduism. Please understand, once this Kshetra used to house 18 million temples. All of these temples are completely destroyed because of the persecution that it has went through for more than 13 centuries. Now, what we have in Kashi is only 1,800 temples. Please understand the amount of destruction that of the Hindu infrastructure that this ecosystem has gone through is something unbelievable. Yet, it is being protected, it is being revived because the Kshetra is now once again revived by the 1008th incarnation of Paramashivoham himself. Swamiji is reviving the sacred lineage of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. And what you are seeing here is a persecution that is still continuing till date. So, in the name of the expansion of the project, there are different strategies that the anti-Hindu elements had deployed in destroying the Hindu infrastructures in Varanasi and Kashi. And till today, the destruction still continues. The destruction of the Hindu infrastructure still continues. The strategies have been different though. On those days, it was more about attacking the Hindu infrastructures by these invaders. And now these Hindu infrastructures are attacked through lawfare, through multiple other strategies in the name of public development. So at least recently, if you see 5 years before, the number of temples, number of Hindu infrastructure that got destroyed in Kashi Sarvajnapeeta will be around at least minimum 500 temples are destroyed. After the so what you are seeing here is the Manikarnika Ghat, the Varanasi property, which Swamiji has revived as the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. It was gifted to previously the Achalakada Acharya Pitavishwar Sukadevanandaji, who in turn gifted it to the current Acharya, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So now this Manikarnika Ghat is the ultimate space where literally death becomes liberation and celebration. That's exactly what all the participants today, all of you have experienced. Now, where the fire of burning ghats have been lit from the ancient times. So time immemorial, this entire tradition of making people to experience liberation through death, that is one of the biggest gifts that the Manikarnika Ghat has been giving to the humanity. And this particular Hindu infrastructure has been destroyed by the anti-Hindu elements. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. So what I was sharing was the persecution that the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta has gone through for more than 13 centuries, 13 centuries, is something phenomenal which in none of the other cities in this Hindu kingdoms, Hindu desas have experienced. Literally, 90% of all the Hindu infrastructures are destroyed. Literally 90% of them are destroyed because at the hands of Britishers and the invaders. Now what we are seeing is only 10% of what we have, and still the persecution is continuing. In the name of lawfare, in the name of public development, still the Hindu infrastructures are being attacked in Kashi. And as we are speaking, just in the last few years, at least 500 temples are destroyed. And the Manikarnika Ghat, where the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is located, which has been gifted by the direct disciple of the Atal Acharya. Now, Swamiji is the reviver of this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. That particular Hindu infrastructure is attacked. I'd like to complete with all the participants and viewers for the technical glitch. Sorry, yes, we are back. So as I was explaining, this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta that has gone through the most brutal persecution, especially in terms of destruction of the Hindu infrastructure for more than 1300 years at the hands of Muslim invaders and the Britishers. And the persecution still continues. It has never stopped. Even as recently as we are speaking, about 500 Hindu temples were destroyed. And this is the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was reviving. And the Hindu infrastructure, this was also attacked by the anti-Hindu music elements. You can see here, literally the entire Hindu infrastructure, Hindu temple was destroyed. And even after destruction, rebuilding, just like how Kashi withstood the rebuilding, rebuilding of all the Hindu temples, whether it is the main Vishwanatha temple, all the other temples of Kashi, same way the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, the sannyasis and the sovereign order of Kailasa under the guidance of Swamiji, they started rebuilding the entire infrastructure. And now the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is grazing the entire ecosystem of Kashi through Annadan and various other social and spiritual activities, which is empowering the Hindu community in Kashi. And today we will take a look at the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the knowledge center of Hinduism. As we just saw how Kashi is a knowledge seat of the entire world, Swamiji has revived this knowledge center. Hindu scholars and Buddhist monks were beheaded while trying to protect these precious books that contains most of the life-positive cosmic truths. Swamiji describes the sacrifice of all our human ancestors, saying that even when we were cut into pieces, we continue to stand for peace. Literally, when we were cut into pieces, we continue to stand for peace. The strength we demonstrated even in the face of the sword, the peace that we demonstrated even to the face in the face of the violence, that is the pride of Vedic civilization. That is exactly how Swamiji has demonstrated, despite undergoing the brutal attack, brutal persecution for more than a decade, Swamiji only stood for peace. Even when we were cut into pieces, we only continue to stand for peace. So one of the most important contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the revival of the ancient knowledge systems which Kashi demonstrated. Kashi is the knowledge center for the entire world, which most of the Hindus today disregard the importance of knowledge center that it used to be. So now Swamiji has revived this important aspect as through Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu library, which is the Jnanalaya. And it is a critical part of Kailasa's mission, where reviving the inner peace, societal peace, and the global peace. As mark of celebration of Devaguru Brihaspati and the ultimate Guru of Dakshinamurti, Kailasa provides the knowledge-related services free to one and all. And it has created the libraries, free access to knowledge centers, free access to every single scripture that has been translated and made it available digitally. All of this is made as one of the important contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the ancient knowledge system. So what you're seeing here are the beautiful images of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reviving the ancient Hindu knowledge system. Like I mentioned, the reviving the Jnanalayas is one of the passion projects or the mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where literally this started back in early days of the Kailasa mission itself, where Swamiji inspired the peacekeepers of Kailasa to collect, preserve the Hindu scriptures, to collect and preserve the Hindu textbooks that are damaged and that are being burnt, and revive these the important contributions of reviving the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is reviving the ancient Hindu knowledge systems. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the ancient knowledge systems through two very important initiatives, educational initiatives. One is establishing Kailasa's largest, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University, which is the largest Hindu university in the world as we speak today. And second one is establishing the Kailasa's Jnanalaya, Hindu Jnanalaya, which is the world's largest Hindu library as we speak today. These two knowledge repository systems that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created has revived the spiritual roots, spiritual educational roots of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta to its totality. So what we are seeing here is the revival of ancient lost Hindu scriptures, whether it is in terms of scriptures of Shaivism, scriptures of Buddhism, scriptures of Jainism, in all of the different sampradayas of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has protected, preserved these scriptures and brought back them to life. So over 3 billion books on Hinduism is being collected in various different languages. And more than collection, these Hindu scriptures are categorized as per the application, whether it is in terms of agamas or Hindu art and architecture, science, technology, darshanas, Purana, Hindu law and politics, Hindu culture and language. So various different contributions, different categories, or these Hindu scriptures are categorized. And they have brought innovations and solutions to global challenges by bringing together various standard procedures, guidelines that is revealed in Vedagamas, whether it is in terms of administration, policy, law, economic principles, temple architecture, lifestyle, medicine. In all of these aspects, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the knowledge systems from its roots by making these knowledge systems user-friendly and implementing the policies and procedures based on the Hindu principles of Vedas and Agamas. The Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Library has collected over 1 million digital books and another 1 million of digital manuscripts, photos, articles from Hinduism from around the world. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has chosen to simplify several of these scriptures in the language of common masses and provided more than 10,000 hours of video discourses and which are attracted more than 90 million views. And you can see here how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has compiled over 500,000 wiki articles and on most searched and popular titles of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, like Hinduism, temples of India, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sanskrit, Ayurveda. And we've collected about lakhs of books in different languages in different parts of India. And most importantly, these scriptures are brought back to life by sharing it digitally in all the Kailasa's digital assets. And Hinduismpedia, that is one of the most simple, humble, hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to organize the entire knowledge repository that Hinduism holds by presenting it manually in multiple languages, authentic translation without any manipulation, interpretation, with a total compilation of over 1 million pages on Hinduism that covers various topics, including the collection of 220,000 digital books, 1,000 plus e-textbooks, and 1 million articles on Hindu topics. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has provided a detailed structure and classification of all these indigenous Hindu source scriptures that has been ordained by Paramashivoham himself. And Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University has developed the world's first exclusive Hindu library management system based on the ancient Hindu scriptures, a classification tree that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has designed. This classification system has more than 900 subject areas and it has about 32 different levels of commentaries. So more detailed the commentaries are, the more rich the Hindu textbooks are. So that's how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given this 32 detailed levels of commentary for every single Hindu scripture. And he collected more than 15 terabytes of digital books and rare manuscripts from 19 plus Sarvajnapeetams as we speak. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has collected more than 7,000 books on ancient medicine, Hindu medicine system. You can see here the beautiful pictures of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where he's inspiring the sovereign order of Kailasa to protect the Hindu manuscripts. So he's actually teaching how to protect these Hindu manuscripts through time-tested solutions. So this is one of the important wings of Kailasa's education ministry, where the cleaning and preserving of the manuscripts using safe and traditional methods. And one other initiative of the Kailasa's education ministry is to time capsule the manuscripts through digitization process. Yes, and also reviving the authentic Hindu journalism. Kailasa's Hinduism now talks about the information, provides the authentic information and resources to persecuted Hindus around the world. And Kailasa's Nithyananda which is a complete compilation of all the contributions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the ancient Hindu scriptures and making it user-friendly to a way where the current humanity can benefit from. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized more than, has authored and organized more than 1,300 books, and and this has been awarded by the Asia Book of Record. And one of their contributions in reviving the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is graceful exit. Today, most of the 90% of the Hindus know Kashi as a place of liberation, as a place where they can experience graceful exit at their elderly age. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the services of graceful exit in a view to revive the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So one of the important initiatives towards the graceful exit is the Maheshwara Puja. So a couple of days before, we saw the entire contribution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism right from 2004 till date. Every single full moon day and every single new moon day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized the Maheshwara Puja in all the Kailasas around the world. And educational initiatives like Nitya Spurna program and initiating millions of people into death meditation are some of the other initiatives that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given to the world to empower the people about the graceful exit. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also given detailed Akashic records on death, empowering the humanity to understand the true concept behind it. So what we have seen today is a huge contribution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So the lineage that is from Paramashiva himself, which Ganesha, along with the Ganeshwaras, organized the Atalapita, and the lineage that Kapila Mahamuni, along with the Videshwaras, organized the Mahanirvanipita, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the spiritual ecclesiastical authority of all of these akhadas and the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. He is reviving the knowledge center of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta to its original glory by establishing the world's largest Hindu university, which is Kailasa Nithyananda Hindu University, and establishing the world's largest Hindu library, which is Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu Library. And the graceful exit services of Kailasa truly empowers the humanity and especially to Hindus to revive and revere Kashi Sarvajnapeeta to its original glory. Now, we are all living in the world where we are experiencing so many global problems as we speak. About 800 million people are at the loss of basic education, and more than 100,000 people are experiencing sexual harassment in their workplace every single day. So we are in a world where there is poverty, where there is inequality, where there is lack of educational resources, where we don't understand the word called sharing. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving Kailasa not just for Hindus. The Kailasa is providing the solutions for all the global problems that we are facing today. Kashi Sarvajnapeeta empowering the Hindus and the world about the true knowledge systems that the Hinduism holds is one of the important contributions and solutions that the humanity needs today. By just reviving the knowledge systems of Hinduism, we can provide time tested solutions in every field that is facing crisis today, whether it is in terms of global warming, whether it is in terms of poverty or hunger issues, whether it is in terms of tackling the education, whatever may be the problem statement that the world is having today, Hinduism has solution. And to make people believe and understand and approach this whole problem scientifically, Swamiji is reviving the knowledge center of Kashi by reviving and protecting the Hindu scriptures and making them user friendly. This contribution alone can just save the world, save the planet, and make sure that the humanity is experiencing the better world today. So, by you being part of Kailasa, you are actually part of reviving these ancient knowledge systems, these ancient sampradayas, which is going to change the face of the planet that we are in today. So I request all the participants and viewers to take that action. You can make an action today by you signing up to be part of Kailasa. So the links are being projected. So I request all the participants to take a moment to sign up and show your declaration to be part of Kailasa. Please understand, today we are all experiencing this time immemorial Kashi Sarvajnapeeta Kshetra. All the living and practicing Hindus of the world are able to experience this Kshetra because of the Tyaga that the Aguris, the Naga sadhus, went through. Overnight, 13,000 Naga sadhus left their body, and 40,000 Naga sadhus have actually given up their life to protect this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has underwent a brutal persecution, and despite that, he is standing for the greater cause for the humanity to experience this Hinduism. So, all Hinduism needs only Tyagis. Hinduism needs people who take that jump, who take that quantum jump and stand and to protect the Dharma. So, everybody who's here in the segment, every one of us have received immense gifts from Hinduism, isn't it? All the different powerful cognitions, initiations, so many gifts that we are all receiving from Swamiji and Kailasa are nothing but fruits of Hinduism. Just for us to show the gratitude, all it needs is tyaga of your inner conflicts. The moment you do the tyaga of inner conflicts and raise yourself to be part of this great Hindu nation, Kailasa, that we can all build the Hinduism together. And at the same time, Swamiji is actually making the Mahakailasa open for one and all. Let us all be part of this latest happening where Mahakailasa is open for the entire humanity, by which the Kailasa nation is going to benefit the whole of the humanity. So let us take this moment to sign up for Sarvajnapeeta. And I request all the participants to take this moment to declare yourself as Tyagis. Declare yourself as Tyagis to protect Hinduism. This great Kashi Sarvajnapeeta stands as an epitome to show that it is only Tyagis who can revive. That is why Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is able to revive this great Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, showing and demonstrating his Tyaga. So let's take 2 minutes. It will take a few minutes for us to sign up to be part of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, to be part of the Kailasa mission. Requesting all the participants and viewers to sign up for becoming the Sarvajnapeeta Yajaman, and you can also post your questions, your feedback, just by listening to this great contributions of Supreme Pontifical Hinduism in reviving this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta.
One with Paramashiva's biology. Let macro
Yes. So, as we are getting ready to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in as Thalavairava Murthy, requesting all the participants to take this moment to contemplate, right? So, let us do this small contemplation. Let us take this as a scenario. Today's segment, what are the things that we learned? We saw the grand history of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. From Paramashiva till now, how the lineage of enlightened masters. And Paramashiva never left Kashi. He always resides in Kashi. And the revival of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, no matter how many times the Sarvajnapeetam went through persecution, went through attacks, it always restored its glory. Now, the glory is being restored by the 1008th incarnation of Paramashivoham Swamiji. Now, let us ask ourselves, what is it in this ecosystem? What is it in this Sarvajnapeeta that makes it resilient, that makes it stand for the test of the time? Right? So, let us ask this question to ourselves. I really request all the participants, Masadashivamai and Mahaadbhuta Charitra, all of you, please just contemplate this and post your responses. What do you think is the element that is with the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta that makes it resilient for so many thousands of years? No matter how much persecution this ecosystem went through, it is always standing strong. It is always radiating its glory to one and all. So, what is it in this ecosystem that is responsible for this? So, I request all the participants to post your powerful cognitions. What do you think is the aspect of this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta that is actually making it resilient? Not only resilient, it is actually restoring its glory again and again and again, no matter what amount of persecution this ecosystem has gone through. So, requesting all the YouTube viewers, Facebook viewers also to participate in this discussion, because moment we catch this, right, we have just one life. How many times in our day we start getting upset, we start feeling low, we start losing confidence in who we are just because of something doesn't occur, doesn't happen as we planned. It is a daily occurrence in our lives, but just imagine what is the software that these Hindu infrastructures, Hindu ecosystems were built in a way that literally from millions of temples, it is now brought down to just 1,800 temples in Kashi. So many millions of temples were destroyed, but still the ecosystem stays strong. But still the ecosystem is radiating that resilience and glory. So what is that software that Paramashiva has instilled in all these Hindu infrastructures and ecosystems? Let us really take a moment to think about it, right? So if you really think about it, one thing that really strikes is Tyaga. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. So, as we are just discussing, the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, which has stood the test of time, since time immemorial, this ecosystem has been contributing to Hindus around the world. What is it within this ecosystem that is actually making it resilient, so strong, reviving to its original glory again and again and again? What is it in this ecosystem? Please understand, an ecosystem where millions of temples used to be there, and today it is only 8,800 temples. It has gone through persecution from over centuries, literally over centuries. Almost every time an invader comes and attacks the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, because this is the place where the knowledge repository of entire Hinduism is kept and preserved. So once if you destroy this knowledge repository, then you are actually destroying the backbone of Hinduism. So always Kashi Sarvajnapeeta is the center for all the attacks and persecution that the that the invaders and all the Britishers eyed on. So, but now, despite so much of attack, what is the software that this Hindu ecosystem held, which is making it so strong and alive even till today? So, let us take a few minutes to look into the aspects of what is it within this ecosystem that is making it respond, to rebuild to its original glory time and again and again. As Swamiji has beautifully shared, one thing that really stands out is even if we are broken into pieces, we stand with peace. That is the software that this Kashi Savanapita still holds. Even if it is broken into pieces, we stand with peace. That is exactly what the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism talks today. Even if the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through the brutal persecution for more than a decade, it is the peace, it is the life contributing, life positive peace that he has demonstrated, he has contributed to the world by forming this Kailasa mission. So even if you have so many obstacles, so many problems in your life where you don't feel there is no way out, just decide for life being life positive. Just decide to be at peace, right? So your decision to be part of Kailasa Nation by you signing up as a Sarvajnapeeta Yajaman is you deciding that you want peace. You stand for peace more than being persecuted, more than being broken into pieces. When you stand for peace, when you stand for this life positive contribution in your life, you are rebuilding yourself, you are envisioning a world with the true knowledge systems that the Hinduism has always contributed. So I request all the participants and the viewers out there, you can share your experiences of just listening to this truths about the Kashi Savanapita and amount of persecution that this Savanapita went through. What do you all feel and how we can come together to this ecosystem and stand up for Kailasa? Yes. So let's take few minutes for all of us to post your powerful understandings. Yes. So, like we were discussing, Kashi under attack. Let's take one more glimpse on how this ecosystem was attacked. So, what you're seeing here is the old Kashi temple that has been destroyed several times by the invaders. And this temple used to be one of the richest temples in the history of the humanity, where literally the entire temple was fully done in gold. But the first Muslim invader to attack the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta was Ahmed Nihalathan, and he is the governor of the Indian province of Ghazni Empire. So it dates back to 11th century. And his aim is to acquire the entire wealth that has been accumulated in the temples of Varanasi. Please understand when I say Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, it is not just the main Vishwanatha temple. This ecosystem used to house millions of temples. Like literally, just like how we have houses next to each other, this entire ecosystem is filled with temples because since the time immemorial, Paramashiva created this whole universe. Kashi existed in every single yuga. So his aim is only to acquire and plunder the wealth of this entire Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So therefore, he started attacking the temples. And from him, it moved on to Kutubidan Aibak, and he actually destroyed more than 1,000 temples at one strike. more than 1,000 temples were destroyed by him at one strike. And his commander is Muhammad Ghori, and many of us historically know about all the crimes that was committed by Muhammad Ghori in terms of destroying the Hindu infrastructure, the number of Hindu women who were raped and killed. So there are so many crimes that is associated with these invaders, especially their whole aim is to destroy the knowledge repository of this Kashi Sarvajnapeeta. So later, after he once again attacked this Kashi Vishwanath temple, later in 20 years, this temple was again rebuilt by a Gujarati merchant. And then once again in 13th century, the Alauddin and Khilji attacked this town and destroyed many temples here. So if you see just in last 1300 years, 90% of all the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta's temples are all destroyed. 90% is completely destroyed. We are only left with 1,800 temples as we speak. Now, again, in 14th century, the attack again continued. Literally, you will see almost every century, centuries by centuries, this ecosystem is being attacked. Then Raja Man Singh, he got the temple reconstructed during the Mughal Emperor Akbar's rule. So from Akbar to Aurangzeb, that was the only time period where the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta survived without going through much of the destruction. And as soon as Aurangzeb took over the rule, this ecosystem suffered a lot in terms of the Hindu soldiers being killed, Hindu sadhus being killed, Hindu infrastructures, like thousands and thousands of temples just in Kashi were destroyed under the rule of Aurangzeb. So I'm going to share more details on how this Hindu ecosystem under the rule of Aurangzeb lost 40,000 Naga sadhus. Swamiji beautifully shares that you can take sannyas under two major contexts. One is being a Shastradhari, another one is being a Shastradhari. Shastradhari are the sadhus who protect the knowledge, and Shastradharis are the ones who protect the dharma itself. So, who advance the knowledge are the Shastradhari, and who protect the dharma is Shastradhari. And Naga sadhus are the ones who took up sannyas, who literally took up apat sannyas to protect the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, to protect the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So, they are called as Shastradharis, right? So, when the Sanatana Hindu Dharma was under attack by the Islam rule, the Rajput soldiers, just to protect the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, they renounced everything. They declared apat sannyas and became powerful Shastradharis. So, by being the powerful Shastradharis, these Naga sadhus protected the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, especially the Kashi Vishwanatha temple. But what happened was, in the Aurangzeb was not able to destroy the entire Kashi Vishwanatha temple structure. Especially, he was not able to get to the lingam, the main Vishwanatha lingam. He was not able to get. So at that time, he devised a plan. What he did was basically he attacked these Naga sadhus and basically the Aurangzeb attacked the Naga sadhus in Chaturmasya. Now you may wonder what is Chaturmasya. So this is the time period where literally all these Naga sadhus, they drop weapons and involve themselves, engage themselves in intense penance. This is the time where they experience oneness with Paramashivoham and they do more and more penance and start manifesting powers. So this is their literally the spiritual incubation time. So when they do not have arms or weapons, at that time, literally overnight, 13,000 Naga sadhus were killed by Aurangzeb. These 13,000 Naga sadhus were the pillars who were actually protecting the entire Kashi Sarvajnapeeta, especially the Kashi Vishwanatha temple. And over the period, Aurangzeb has killed about 40,000 Naga sadhus. Now, despite all that, you may wonder how this main Shivalinga, Kashi Vishwanatha Linga, is protected. How are we able to have this darshan even till today? That is because of the Tyaga, the insightful Tyaga. It's not just giving up of life, but being insightful. 5 Naga sadhus took the Shivalinga and they jumped into the Nanvapi well of the Kashi. So the invaders looked around everywhere, but they did not have any clue that these Naga sadhus will be taking the Shivalinga and they will be under the well. So they had no clue about that. So they were looking out, they looked around everywhere, they could not find. Literally, these 5 Naga sadhus who did that tyaga, insightful tyaga of protecting the Kashi Vishwanatha Linga under the Gyanvapi well for years. Literally for years, they were just under the well. And later, after years, the Aurangzeb lost the rule, and the next Rajput ruler, Maratha ruler, who came to resurrect Kashi, they retrieved this Kashi Vishwanatha Shivalingam and they built the temple for us. So, coming back to our discussion, it is really the Tyaga. It is really the Tyaga that make the Tyaga of all these Naga sadhus. That is what is making us to experience the Kashi Vishwanatha temple today. If we are all able to worship Vishwanatha, it's because of the tyaga of those 5 Naga sadhus who just jumped under the well to protect the Shivalinga. You may wonder what is it that is really needed for the humanity today when we are experiencing so many global problems. Literally today, as we speak, millions of people have lost their jobs because of layoffs, and we don't know when the pandemic is going to start again. So there are so many uncertainties in the world as we speak today. Now, if all for all of these uncertainties, what is the solution? We very well know that Swamiji is the only solution for all the problems that the world is facing today, whether it is poverty, whether it is hunger, whether it is education, whether it is terrorism, whether it is global warming. For everything, Swamiji has a solution. He has a time tested solution from Hinduism, and Kailasa is the only solution for the whole world. We all know that. Now, when we know the solution, when we know also the problem, the impact of the problem that's having in our lives, whether it is in our individual self or in the community or in the world, we all know the problems and the depth of the problem. We also know the solution and the powerfulness of the solution. Now, how do we bridge this? What is the gap in between? It is just you and me standing up for Kailasa. That is the only gap. Just you and me standing today and saying that you are ready to do tyaga of everything, of all the resources, just like how the Naga sadhus did the tyaga and declared themselves as apat sannyasis. And not only that, they stood with that cause. Because of their tyaga, we are experiencing Vishwanatha today. Because of their tyaga, we are able to experience the Lord Vishwanatha today in Kashi. Now, we know the powerfulness of the solution, we know the problems. All it needs is just declaring, yes, I want to drop all my insecurities. Whatever I have today, I'm going to take the first step towards building Kailasa. I'm going to take the first step towards the building the seed infrastructure for Kailasa, which is opening the Maha Kailasa to one and all. So your decision to open the Maha Kailasa to one and all by building the seed infrastructure, by doing the tyaga of whatever resources you have, that is the starting point. Really, that is the starting point. All of us are thinking that somebody else is going to do the tyaga. I don't think I'm meant for it. I still do have problems. I still do have other priorities. Nobody is saying you cannot have other priorities in life. We are only saying that let's prioritize now. Let us prioritize the Hindu cause now. When the world is suffering, when we know that Swamiji has the solution, just by making Maha Kailasa open, we can save billions of people today. By you prioritizing this over all your personal problems, surely you are not going to lose anything in life. You will only be rewarded. The whole cosmos is going to bless you for this decision. So I request everybody to make that decision to do tyaga of what they have and take that first step towards the Kailasa. Maha Kailasa needs to be open for the whole of the humanity. Everybody has to come together to make it happen. So instead of thinking that somebody else will do it, I'm going to wait and watch. I'm going to see how it's all going to happen. I know it will happen, but I'm just going to watch. That is not going to build resilience inside you. Only way you can get fulfillment, ultimate fulfillment, is by you doing that tyaga, being part of this mission, being part of this history. So let us all come together and decide and declare who in the as the viewers today, who in the viewers and the participants today is going to decide to make that tyaga. You can all post that in the chat. I request all the participants to post in the chat if you are deciding to do tyaga for the protection of these Hindu ecosystems around the world, and if you really believe that Kailasa is the only solution, Swamiji is the only solution, and there are so many uncertainties that we are in the world today, just by bridging this gap of bringing Swamiji to the whole world, making this Kailasa make available to the whole world, that is going to happen simply by you deciding to do Tyaga today. So let us all take this moment and declare Tyaga. Who in the Zoom is going to declare Tyaga today and decide whatever you have, you take the first step towards manifesting Sarvajnapeeta. Yes. So let's take a few minutes to declare our Tyaga. Wow, so many of you have responded. Yes, Ma Madeline is sharing that the Kailasa ecosystem is such an empowering, joyful ecosystem based on peaceful coexistence and absolute respect for all life. It is a shining example for all the nations on how we could live and thrive. It is imperative that it is protected and also propagated for the benefit of humanity and the survival of the planet. Deciding to be part of Kailasa is the best and important decision we can take for ourselves and all the future generations. Madeline, thank you so much for sharing. Now, I request you to take that one step towards Sarvajnapeeta today. As we all marching towards the Paramashivoham, I request you to take this moment to declare your decision, to declare what you would like to, how you would like to contribute towards the Kailasa nation. Meenakshi is sharing that Kashi, I feel, is the core of Hinduism and vibrates very strongly with us. Kashi is our very being. In an amazing experience, Swamiji showed me that Kashi exists in Swargaloka. So do I as well. That's beautiful, Ma. Right. That's really beautiful. Meenakshi, just like how Kashi is standing today, because of Tyaga of all the 40,000 Naga sadhus and the Tyaga of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, without this Tyaga, no way we can revive any of this ancient Enlightenment ecosystems. None of these Sarvajnapeetas could be revived if not for Swamiji's Tyaga. So all these ancient Hindu kingdoms, Hindu ecosystems are surviving only because of Swamiji's Tyaga. Now decide how you want to radiate that same space, that same state of Swamiji, and do Tyaga of whatever you can for this ecosystem, for Kailasa to be open for the whole humanity. So there are so many others who have actually shared. I am having multiple death experiences pretty much every day by receiving new knowledge and making new thought currents related to STHT disappear again and again. After every death of my eye, I cognize I am Paramashiva. It's beautiful. Actually, so many of you have shared so many powerful cognitions about death. And how Kashi ecosystem is too close to your heart. So now let us really cognize and declare our steps. What are we going to do to revive this, to be part of this seed infrastructure for the Kailasa nation, for Kailasa to be open to one and all? Wow, Lindsay Bhatkar is sharing that I declare to serve Kailasa and the Enlightenment ecosystem. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Would you like to share in what way? There are so many ways how you can be part of Kailasa Nation. Would you like to share in what way you would like to be part of Kailasa Nation? Thank you so much, Lindsay. Yes, Madeline is sharing that I declare my intention to do Tyaga of all the insecurities and fear and to enrich as much as possible and continue to contribute time, treasure, and talent towards building Kailasas around the world. Wow, thank you so much, Madeline. How many of you would like to declare in the same way that you're going to do Tyaga of all the insecurities and contribute your time, treasure, and talent towards Kailasa? Yes. So while we are waiting for all the participants to declare their commitments, to declare their declaration of going to do Tyaga of all the insecurities and declaring your time, treasure, and talent towards Kailasa, while we are waiting for the declarations, let us also take a few minutes to look into the knowledge stream, how the Kailasa's Department of Education has revived the knowledge stream, the glory of Kashi Sarvajnapeeta's knowledge stream, by the revival of the world's largest Hindu university, Nithyananda Hindu University, and the world's largest Hindu library, Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya. So the Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya is one of the most important aspect and wing of Kailasa's Department of Education, where it has recovered a total of about 50,000 physical manuscripts from various sampradayas, and these manuscripts have been totally damaged. So these totally damaged manuscripts from different sampradayas have been recovered, and they are treated so that so the knowledge behind these manuscripts can be brought to life. So you can see here how these manuscripts are from different sampradayas. One is Sikhism, Buddhism, Shaivism, Jainism, and millions of books are also collected on Hinduism, which is from different languages. And they are all identified and located over a million titles on various categories, including spirituality, Vedagamas, Hindu art and architecture, science and technology, Darshana, Purana, law and politics, culture and language, Hindu history, education, Hindu performing arts, Hindu medical sciences, and many more. This has brought the innovation and solutions to global challenges by bringing together the various standards, procedures, and guidelines revealed in Vedagamas in all the areas, almost like administration, policies, law, health, economic principles. In every single field, Hinduism has got the solution, which Swamiji is reviving by protecting and preserving these manuscripts and bringing them back to life, literally by making it available to one and all and translating and seeing how this can actually solve today's world's problem. My inland, would you like to declare your commitment to Kailasa to contribute your time, treasure, and talent? Lindsay has declared, Madeline has declared. Who else is going to declare today? Right. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has chosen to simplify several of these scriptures in a language that common mass can understand. And in fact, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is given the Asia Book of Records for maximum number of single authored books. So he has delivered more than 1,300 books today, which is all based on the Hindu scriptures and simplified it and made it user friendly in a way that we can all understand and start using it. And at the same time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been given the Asia Book of Records for maximum hours of discourses, more than 3 lakh hours of discourses that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given over the last 30 years. And all of these discourses are nothing but reviving Hinduism, reviving the ancient knowledge that these Hinduism has always contributed. One other important contribution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the Hinduismpedia, which is nothing but a simple hard work to organize and present all the Hindu scriptures that are available on the planet Earth. And this Hinduismpedia is available digitally in multiple languages. It is authentic translation of all the Hindu scriptures are also available. And this is without any manipulation, many misinterpretation and misquoting of Hindu scriptures. So this is the true voice of Hinduism as we speak. And it has got a compilation of 1 billion pages on Hinduism, and in which 22,000 digital books are there, and 1,000 plus e-text books, and 1 million articles on Hinduism. One of the major other contributions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in reviving the ancient lost Hindu scriptures is providing the world's first Hindu classification system for these textbooks, right? So this is actually one of the world's first inclusive Hindu library management system, and this is based on the ancient Vedic scriptures classification tree. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the first person ever in the history of humanity and history of Hinduism to give 32 different levels of commentary. So he has classified the Hindu library management system in a way that it can 900 subject areas can be classified with the 32 different levels of commentaries. And more than 15 terabyte material is collected, and it is being collected, and all these books are all from reviving the 21 Sarvajnapeetas, and 7,000 books are collected in terms of the Hindu medicine systems. What you are seeing here is the beautiful pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, showing the palm leaves and showing the training the Kailasians on how to preserve these palm leaves. Also, all the Hindu scriptures that are available in textbooks, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the palm leaf technology by printing them in palm leaves and distributing and sharing it with the world in all the conventions that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has convened. This groundwork of cleaning and preserving the manuscripts using safe and traditional methods, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has step by step taught and trained the Kailasians in doing this. So this is the time capsuling manuscripts through digitizations. So by printing, the palm leaf printing technology has been introduced in by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to make sure all the scriptures that are available, all the text and verses that are available, everything is made available in the palm leaf. So you can see the authenticity in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So I request all the participants to take this moment. Let us all really come together. Every level Swamiji has been reviving Hinduism. So we know that this is the only solution that the humanity needs, right? We know the depth of the problem. We know the powerfulness of the solution, which is Swamiji. Now, all we need to do is decide whatever is stopping us from taking that very step. Whatever is stopping us from taking that step to be part of Kailasa, let's literally take a ferocious stance on it. Let's do ferocious yaga of all the insecurities that you're holding. And today itself decide, okay, I'm going to advance and take my first step towards this journey. Moment you take that first step, you will see all the other things, whatever is stopping you from manifesting the Sarvajnapeeta Ejaman, it will simply melt away. All it needs is you taking that first step. Yes, and just we're looking for all the participants and the viewers today to take that first step towards revival of ancient lost Hindu scriptures, knowing that these scriptures are the only solutions that humanity has got. And Swamiji is the only person who's reviving these scriptures, making it user friendly and making it available to one and all. Wow. Meenakshi Ma is also declaring that I declare my intention to do Tyaga of all my insecurities and fear. I will continue to contribute and provide my support to Kailasa with time, treasure, and talent. This is the true meaning of life. To support the whole world in all ways, as Kailasa provides solution to all the humanity for mental, physical, emotional well-being, and experiencing ultimate through Paramashiva and Mukti itself. That's beautiful, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma Meenakshi. Who else would like to declare Tyaga of all the insecurities and fear and just decide to stand up for Kailasa? You can post that in the MPSN group. Yes, you can post your responses, your declarations in the MPSN group that is being flashed on your screen. You can just do a QR code. The QR code is being projected, so you can just scan and log into the MPSN group and you can start declaring. So Ma Meenakshi has declared, Ma Lindsay has declared, Ma Madeline has declared. Who else would like to declare your declaration to be with Kailasa and decide to do Tyaga of all your insecurities and fear? Requesting all the participants to take this moment and start declaring your decision to do Tyaga and be part of Kailasa. Yes, and with this, we will get ready to receive the most auspicious moment of the day, to receive the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So I thank all the participants and viewers for your participation. So many of you have declared to do Tyaga and be part of Kailasa. Like I mentioned before, it is Tyagis who have built Kailasa. It is Tyagis who are needed for Hinduism. And Swamiji is the ultimate Tyagi. He is the Tyaga Raja for the whole world. After undergoing this persecution, Swamiji's immense contribution to the humanity is what it makes as Kailasa today. So with that note, would like to end this segment and let us all get ready to receive the darshan of Swamiji.